story.
What about?
About this bank. This was the Smiths Bank.
Nottingham Smiths Bank branch, the oldest provincial bank in England. That's really old water, isn't it?
Do you know what it's made of? I'll tell you a little story. Do you want to hear a horror story?
Yeah.
So it's KaK and Mac with a little horror story.
Or two.
Now, that bank that we've just been outside is known as the Smiths Bank. But it was the National Provincial Bank.
Now out west.
It was one of the first banks in the country, wasn't it?
Yes.
Now it's owned by Westminster. You know what's in Westminster, don't you?
Yes.
What's in Westminster?
Scary, scary stuff.
Monsters. And what did you say earlier? We don't want to put a damper on the day, but you know they interfere with kids.
Paedophiles.
Oh, that dreaded word. I'm sure a few of you are turning in your graves. Anyway, have a listen to this little story. St Nicholas Churchyard in Nottingham. Hold on a second. St Nicholas Churchyard. St Nicholas Churchyard, Nottingham. There it is. Oh, it's on Maid Marian Way.
Oh, it must be the one down near the bottom then.
On Maid Marian Way. Just down the bottom. Well, I'll tell you this little horror story, and I couldn't quite believe this. Could you?
No.
St Nicholas Churchyard. When parts of the churchyard were sold off during the mid-19th century by the council, workers there were plagued, I think there's a play on words there, by all manner of strange and haunting phenomena. They later uncovered a mass burial pit. It was a plague pit, which was crammed with thousands upon thousands of human bones, human remains. Yeah? Guess what? The local council sold the bones and ground them up to make cement mortar for the Smiths Bank on low pavement. So that bank is built on ex-human remains. That's quite a horror story. Who's it owned by now? The NatWest? The pyramid? The apex of the pyramid?
Yes.
Now that's pretty scary. A bank that's built from cement made of human remains?
From the plague?
From the Black Death? Do you want to see what I've got in here?
Yeah, go on then.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Where did you get that from?
I dug it up at Beechwood Children's Home around the back before it was sold.
That makes sense.
KaK and Mac Halloween special. Oh, we're actually in the graveyard. Oh, you can probably see out the back. And there's people walking about. And we want to tell horror stories while we're in the graveyard. Now, what have we got for them today?
Well, of course, all the papers today are reporting the budget.
Ah, yes,
Now
budgeted this.
That's
budgeted
a horror story in itself.
So, Philip Hammond this time used to be Foreign Secretary, doesn't really know what he's doing.
Nope.
Probably a little. He probably knows what 6 times 7 is that George Osborne doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, balancing the books. So apparently, Mrs. May, who we saw at Asda earlier, and you can flash that up now if you want. She says him and her and Hammond are going to end austerity. Now, what does that tell you?
They could have ended it before it started.
That it should have never happened. So and he's going to give £420 million to all the councils for potholes, and the councils, of course, have got billions in offshore bank accounts, which pays for everything. So he's going to line the pockets of the local councils,
as usual.
And they probably won't fill in the potholes, or
no,
we'll get somebody else to do it, and that'll that'll be me more of this. So if these cons, these deceptionists, who are in British so-called power, our government, our mind controllers at the moment, austerity, if she can end it. I mean, when Cameron and Blair were in, Cameron kept saying, oh, we must pay off the national debt, the national deficit, the deceit on the people.
Yes.
And it, what happened to it? It doubled, didn't it?
It doubled, yes.
It doubled. Now it's tripled, probably. Let's have a look at the national debt clock. So, yeah, if austerity's just all of a sudden ended, it should have never happened in the first place.
Yeah, if they could end it just like that, why have they been heaping it on us for the past 10 years?
So that means they're just a bunch of murderous liars. But people have committed suicide and stuff through that shit. Oh, we love you so much. You're fantastic.
You'll notice they didn't say they're going to stop the sanctions.
Sanctions?
Where they make up some excuse that you're fit for work and then they sanction you.
Oh, for disabled people and stuff like that.
Didn't say they were going to end that.
They're just rotters. I agree with you. They should all be in jails. Not prisons, because prisons are for slaves.
Well, they are supposed to be our servants.
Let's just have a look. National debt clock. Government clock. Hospital clocks. The United Kingdom national debt clock counter.
Yeah, but if every country on the planet is in debt, who are they in debt to? Wow. 2
trillion 96
million
billion.
Oh yeah, I forgot the business.
541 million 317 18 19 20 21 22 20. It's going up that quick. Can you see that? Oh, we'll just go back. Can you see that? It's going up that quick. But yeah, so this is irrelevant now apparently because they can magic money out of thin air.
Like they have done all along.
And we haven't got to pay it back like the good little slaves that we are. But that's slavery to pay that crap back.
Yeah, they borrow it and we get to pay it back. Whoa, that's a fair deal.
And who do they borrow it from?
The Bank of England.
And where do the Bank of England get their money from?
They just...
And from all the gold that we give them?
No.
And from all the silver that we give them?
No.
Well, where does it come from?
They just magic it out of thin air. They're magicians.
Oh, so money's completely free?
Yes.
Like everything should be on this planet?
Yes.
And then we're charged as slaves to pay it back with interest?
Yes.
Well, that's not very interesting, isn't it? That's just basic modern slavery.
Robbery. That's all it is.
So slavery never ended?
No.
Daylight robbery?
Yes. We're free-range slaves. That's the difference.
Now that's a horror story for you, if ever there was one. What else have we got today? What else has been in the news? Not a lot's been in the news today. There was something I caught the other morning around at a friend's house.
STD?
No. There was this West London fella. It was a London fella with a darker complexion. And he'd got on balaclava, so you could just see his eyes and his mouth, and he kept going, beep, peace, saying these funny things. But he's made this rap record, and he was on, what was it? In fact, there's not an unpleasant man on television in the mornings. I don't normally watch TV, but it was on around at a friend's house. Piers Morgan.
Ah, yes.
Was interviewing him. No, it wasn't Piers Morgan. He's normally on that programme. It was the comedian Adil Ray. You know the chap that does Mr. Khan? Or the Citizen Khan. You ever seen that programme?
No.
And some other woman. And they were interviewing this guy, and apparently he's made this rap record with somebody else.
Yeah, it's the words,
It's called mumble rap. But yeah, he's used words that politicians use. And I think it was George Galloway who used some words on either his show or written down once. That he wanted to cut up Theresa May into little bits and see her in his fridge freezer.
That's a bit...
if anybody knows the song, you can have a listen to it, but it's not really that good. It's a bit satanic, isn't it? You know, this is KaK M supposed to be a Halloween special. We're going to put blood and wigs on and crap like that, but we just thought we'd tell you a load of horror stories. That's pretty horrible, isn't it? The words politicians use. That's pretty horrifying. And what's been going on? What else has been going on? And while we think about that, we'll let you know. What's going on here then?
Look, you've seen her.
Hey up, Teresa. How's it going? How you doing with the arms sales to Saudi Arabia now you and Boris have decimated the Yemen? Oh, it's Halloween. You look fabulous, Teresa, you really do. What a wonderful woman you are. Gives a kiss.
Goes for this one. So yes, it's Halloween KaK and Max special. So we're going to tell you a little horror story.
Or 2. Or 3.
Take 2. Or 3.